In 1879, archaeological excavations began at the ancient city of Sipar, modern Abu Habah, Iraq, on behalf of the British Museum under the leadership of Hormuz Drassam. During these excavations, thousands of cuneiform tablets were unearthed, including Old Babylonian tablets that would later be identified as the Epic of Atrahasis. The oldest complete version of the epic was written in Old Babylonian Akkadian during the reign of King Amisaduqa of Babylon, 1646 to 1626 BC, with the surviving copy generally dated to around 1635 BC. In 1965, Assyriologist Wilfred Lambert identified and reconstructed the tablets as parts of the Epic of Atrahasis. 4 years later, in 1969, Lambert and Alan Millard published the first complete scholarly edition and English translation, introducing the epic to the wider academic world. The Epic of Atrahasis tells how the gods created humanity from clay mixed with the blood of a slain god, so that humans could take over the hard labor that the lesser gods had been forced to do. As the human population grew, their noise disturbed the chief god Enlil. To reduce their numbers, he first sent disease, plague, then famine by withholding rain and crops, and finally a great flood to wipe out humanity. The god Enki secretly warned the righteous man Atrahasis to build an ark, allowing him, his family, and animals to survive. After the flood, the gods realized they still needed humans to provide offerings and maintain the world. To prevent overpopulation from happening again, they introduced limits on human reproduction and lifespan, including infertility, infant mortality, and women dedicated to lifelong celibacy. These Mesopotamian accounts represent some of the earliest written examples of a story pattern that would later appear in other ancient Near Eastern traditions, including the biblical flood narrative. The Epic of Atrahasis is one of the oldest known versions of humanity's creation and destruction through a great flood, together with the flood tradition preserved in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Over 1,000 years later, during the Babylonian exile in the 6th century BC, the Judeans found themselves living in the heart of Mesopotamian culture, where ancient Babylonian traditions and texts had a significant influence on the authors who shaped later biblical writings. The biblical story reshaped the narrative within the monotheistic framework of Yahweh, the national god of Judah. But the similarities remain striking. The creation of humanity, divine dissatisfaction with mankind, the decision to destroy humanity, the warning given to a chosen survivor, the construction of a vessel, the preservation of life through the flood, and the renewed covenant between humanity and the divine. Rather than appearing in isolation, the Genesis flood story emerged within a much older Near Eastern tradition that had already existed in Mesopotamia for more than a millennium before it was written down in its final form.